Okie dokie.
Hello everybody, this is Milesluigi welcoming you back to Let's Play Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga Plus. Joining me today actually is not our regular people, it is...
Hey, this is JDH64.
And this is the man responsible for this hack actually, as we're going to climb down Hoohoo Mountain and have a little bit of fun as we actually start exploring the Bean Bean Kingdom for real. But I actually, since I have you here, JD Esther, thank you for joining me here.
No problem.
I wanted to ask you just the very first basic question. What exactly made you think, okay, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga needs a balancing stat hack? What exactly made this hack come to be, I guess is the best way to just describe what I'm asking.
So first of all, let me say, I picked up this game, I think, for the first time 2005 or 6, and I played it through with as I know a lot of people have done, with a sibling on the Game Boy Player. We each grabbed like a GameCube controller and sort of controlled the bros separately through the game. And there's an idea, if you've played this game and want to do something new with it, and have a GameCube.
I need to do that with you with Pop-Tarts still. Holy cow, yes. I haven't mentioned that, but yes, you can do that. Holy cow.
Yeah, so at any rate, I've been playing the game for some time, and I really love this game. Like, even before I got into hacking it, this is like one of my favorite games in the entire Mario series. But I feel like the way I play through these games, I typically like to fight just about everything once, and that usually ends up in the Mario series, at least, dramatically raising my levels, like way higher than they need to be, and I kind of completely blow through everything. It's like, you know, you want to use the ideal stats and everything, the ideal strats. So I thought this game, I just thought it needed a little bit better balance and just a little more difficulty in general.
Understood, and that's kind of exactly what this Romhack is. Could you tell a little bit more of the story behind the tool that you use? Because I know you used the tool specifically from a specific forum board.
Yeah, so I don't know how many people noticed this in the very first video, but I changed the opening sequence text just to sort of give credit to the guys who made this all possible. Charlie's Dr. Pepper and Salanu from Yoshi's Lighthouse. At any rate, these guys are way better than I am at sifting through Game Boy Advance in general, like hacking stuff, and they made an editor called Yoshi Magic that, I'm trying to remember exactly what I did in that, but, it made it a lot easier to edit the enemy stats and, the level up stats you get for the bros, and I think I made a couple of map edits as well in that. But the rest of that was basically, the rest of what went into this, like, adding some music and just general item hacks and text hacks, that was mostly done just by painstakingly hex editing everything.
Okay, so you have done like that painstaking hex edit that the people who made Yoshi Magic did. Not to sidetrack a little bit on the discussion of the creation of the hack, because we are now playing the next minigame. This is the minecart minigame.
Worst minigame.
So you control both Mario and Luigi at the same time as what is usual of all the minigames here. The idea is Mario has a flashlight, and you kind of have to guide Luigi along and pay attention to both tracks to see what things you need to pick up. You need to collect a minimum number of these stones that I'm running into. I believe for the first one it's just a simple 10, but this minigame gets progressively more difficult, obviously.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier playing this with 2 players. I think I made my sister control her own flashlight, so that made it considerably easier on me. It looks like you might barely squeak through this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this minigame either. Yes, I did just barely squeak through it.
Give you 5
exactly
extra,
10.
And every time you get hit, you lose 3, so you can afford to miss 2 and get hit once, and that's about it.
I actually did not know that they did that each time. Okay. It'll be interesting when I go back there again and actually look at previous times I went through there again. But, there we go. This allows us to descend further down Hoohoo Mountain. Here we go. I actually just had a relative gameplay question for you, just something that it's bothering me that I don't know. As we watch this hilarious hammer scene here, because we're going to learn that we can use our hammers in battle. I do know critical hits or lucky hits are based on the stash stat. Do you know exactly how the game actually calculates whether an attack's going to be lucky or not?
Not at all. Really, there isn't a ton of variation in how often you get them from what I've seen. Like, even if you have, like, next to no stash, you'll still get lucky hits fairly often. And even if you have max, you won't get them every hit. So, I don't know.
It's some weird complex internal game formula. Okay, just I didn't know, and I just thought to myself, maybe JD Easter knows. I guess it's a mystery to everyone, though the one definite thing we know Stash does is, of course, the shop prices, and that's always worth something.
Yep, you can get things down to like half their price and double their selling price there. That's definitely of use.
It affects both the selling price too? I actually did not know that. I thought it was just the purchase. Okay, I learned. You can sell things for more if you have a manly stash. So, we can now use hammers in battle, and generally speaking, they're not too much different from jumping, because it's press A at the right time to swing the hammer powerfully. The different thing here is that whenever you're using hammers on defense, which some enemies, now that are going to attack us, they're going to attack us in such a way that Mario and Luigi is going to use their hammer instead of jumping. You have to hold A ahead of time to prep the hammer, then release it to attack. And that's definitely different than just jumping. There's more to it than that, so I always believe hammer defense is a little bit more... Excuse me. That was a lousy pun. Hammer defense is a bit more difficult than just simple jumping defense.
Yes.
It might be just me, though.
Especially for Luigi, I think he has a little bit longer of a time you have to wait to pick up the hammerhead. The other slight difference between the jump and the hammer actions is the hammer does a little bit of a random damage range. There's, I think, three predetermined amounts of damage it can do that are like still based on your power and everything. But yeah, and Luigi's is actually slightly stronger than Mario's, and on average way higher than his jump power. So sometimes it's worth it to do that for him, even if you don't need to use the hammer.
And Luigi benefits more from his hammer, is what you're saying.
Here we've got this Boo statue that we can't do anything with.
Can't do anything with, and the one screen to the left of this screen that I was just playing around in, don't fall off the ledge unless you like minecarts.
Can't do anything with these either.
Nope.
Mysterious.
I can continue to whack Mario over the head. Oh hey, minor thing that we noticed last part and while I was playing this game. I can whack Mario over the head, but for some reason it's not letting Luigi whack Mario over the head, or Mario whack Luigi over the head. My apologies, I messed that up.
If you switch them around, you should be able to.
The action wasn't letting me when I was trying.
If you like switch their position. So yeah, here's some tutorial enemies for you to use your hammer against. Typical hammer defense here. It's fairly easy compared to most. They only have one timing.
It is fairly easy, although since this is like my first battle actually using hammers in this game again, I'm like, oh, I gotta get used to this timing again.
And as a balancing note, I actually made it so that they've got high enough defense that pretty much no matter what level you are here, you'll only do 2 damage to them. So you're guaranteed to have to fight a couple of turns with them to defend against them and learn their timing.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. I decided to show off here, though, one really cool thing you can do with the advanced move here. In case you forgot, last part when I mentioned when I finally got the advanced command for Mario's first Bros attack, you can jump on spiked enemies with it, and not only that, it does extra damage.
Yeah, it does double the normal damage, give or take, and that's going to be really useful in a couple of situations.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like here, it's like I can either use a couple of turns, ooh, lucky hit, with the hammers, or one of those, what Bros attack, bam, they're out. Really, you'll actually be seeing it in a couple of boss battles, if I remember correctly.
Picking up some woo beans here from the enemies.
Oh, this is actually an enemy that drops a bean. Okay. That was a good eye there.
Yeah, most enemies right in this area, which no spoilers, but in this surrounding area, this green area, you'll be getting a lot of those wool beans.
X marks the spot. Once again, we'll just pretend we're not seeing those yet.
They'll serve a purpose eventually.
They will. So we are actually in Bean Kingdom's field right now, and we actually have access to the entire Bean Kingdom's field, which is pretty nifty. We're supposed to just go to Bean Castle pretty shortly here. I do believe. I believe it's up here. I make a save state just to show off something. If, say, you're playing the original game, running around the outskirts of Bean Kingdom isn't necessarily terribly risky of a thing, though it is definitely risky. It's a bit of a different story in this Romhack, as I'm about to show off here. So if you want to know, I'm fighting enemies that I'm supposed to be fighting later in the game. And I'm kind of only doing 1 damage back to them.
Yeah, you're not doing too much.
So yeah, these are Tenubas. They're kind of annoying. I'm using a Bros attack and it only did 7 damage.
Your minimum damage there.
Oh, Bounce Bros actually has a minimum damage? I didn't know that.
Yeah, your jump minimizes it too, but Splash and Bounce minimizes 7 and 5. And apparently all that's kind of wasted effort anyway.
Kind of. So, I really don't stand a chance, do I?
Yeah, notably, the defense becomes a whole bunch harder for the hammer when you're having to hold one of your fallen brother in battle. Oh!
That didn't exactly help, and it's a normal enemy too. On the bright side, since this is the first time I'm actually really talking about one of the bros dying, if a bros dies, it makes the other bro picks him up, and then both jump and hammer defense, both of them become more difficult to do. And naturally, if a bros dies, no more bros attacks, and it's usually in your interest to either one-up mushroom or run away. Now, because I didn't show it off, I think I do have to show off getting a game over here because I can. Wow. That enemy is just supposed to be a medic, and he just destroyed Luigi.
He's the defensive.
There's not too much to game over. The game says game over, and it lets you return back to a save point. At least at this point. You can use game overs for another purpose in this game, but I'll get to that when I get to that.
So back to some manageable enemies. Hey, more than 2 damage.
Oh, thank goodness. So, these other ground enemies, interestingly enough, they actually have 2 attacks. That one, which just destroyed Luigi, by the way, and another one that you jump on. So they're, I guess, there's 2 ways they can attack you. But yeah, I'm not doing so hot, so I'm not going to run away from a battle like this, even though I could. One thing that I did notice, though, I remember in the original game, you did pick up nuts. Are they just completely gone in this game? Because I could recall you get nuts, at least by this point.
Yeah, nuts I actually kind of removed from this game. There's another item that sort of takes their place later.
Oh, okay.
The items are a bit more simplistic in this game.
I remember, like, at the beginning of the game, I picked up this pepper instead of a one-up mushroom, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that was just a fact of I didn't really know how to change scripted events like that, only the text that accompanied them, and the item that I replaced the one-up mushroom with. Like, I changed around the order, and the one-up mushroom kind of got replaced by the weaker form of the green pepper in this game, which raises your defense a little bit and does other things.
I really don't find myself using the peppers too often. I probably should for some of the boss battles.
They're pretty broken in the original game. They boost your stats by 50%.
Wow. Darn.
Yeah, these guys are sort of your tutorial on dodging with multiple different types of attacks.
Mm-hmm. So it's really obvious to see. You just pay attention to the A icon, the B icon, and it tells you how you need to dodge and attack.
Yeah, if all that time you thought that was kind of pointless before this is why that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get the hammer, it's just saying, hey, you can dodge.
Doesn't exactly give you the choice of how you want to dodge. It's just, okay, the enemy's attacking this way, here's how you dodge.
Didn't really show it off there, but what he just did was a hammer for a strike. If you hammer an enemy on the overworld, rather than taking damage, most of the enemies in the battle will get dizzy and won't be able to move for a turn.
You're right, I didn't show that off there. I just cut right off of that battle. I think I was going to mention that at a future battle, but I just... Wow, nicely done. So anyway, what I want to show off here is... I think I actually go to the pipe, or do I... It's been a while since I played, admittedly, from this video. But I either go to the pipe, because there's a pipe in the Bean Kingdom Overworld, or... I go show off that I can't go to the next area in the game. Now, interestingly enough, pair of beanies are technically a little strong of an enemy for me right now. Nothing, like, terribly unmanageable, but they're kind of annoying right now to me.
Yeah, they're pretty difficult at this point. I kind of... For pretty much all of the enemies in this area, I kind of assumed that you'd be fighting them as late as possible as you're required to sort of pass them in the storyline. So you'll have better stats and better equipment when you're supposed to come through here. So they're pretty manageable by then, but they're not terribly hard. Their guards are
right. I can actually get these timings down because I'm like wow I can't dodge these things right now because I am not used to their timing at all. That's one thing about this game. It's like if you first fight an enemy, unless you've played this game a lot before, you probably are going to get hit a couple of times before you finally get used to their timing. Like that.
Yeah. The thing about the Bean area enemies in this hack, I kind of reduced the amount of experience you get from them, so you can't really grind them the entire game. Kind of to encourage progression.
Not only does this hack balance the game out, you actually... Wow, okay. Nicely done. It's little things like this, like a lot of people who've played this game don't really notice a lot of the small nuanced details about this game. Like me, I tend to flat out forget names of pros attacks. I just go Mario's jump pros attack instead of Splash Brothers.
These guys are a bit more manageable now that you've de-winged them.
Oh yeah. Not only that, I think they're actually only doing like a single damage to me when they do actually hit me, but their tell is really easy to notice once you finally notice it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be honest, first time I played this game, I never noticed the beanies had a tell, whether they're flopping over or not. I just always just jumped like an idiot. In retrospect, I was just kind of an idiot. I mean, I was younger. I was an idiot in a lot of ways, really. Oh no!
Dramatic
We finally made it to the castle, and it's like the town is destroyed. Which is kind of unfortunate because a lot of places are closed, except for one of the shops, if I remember correctly.
This is the first time you're able to spend all those hard-earned coins that you got in the earlier battles. This is also the first time you're able to refresh enemies on the overworld, as far as I recall.
Oh. But there we go. We finally have access to a shop. So, I can now stay stocked up on mushrooms and syrup, which is kind of an important thing because this game doesn't have healing blocks or inns. So once again, just stay stocked up on mushrooms and syrups, and you'll be good to go. I think I just pick up a single refreshing herb because I'm like, wow, I don't have any refreshing herbs. Let me just buy one. So yeah, later on we'll be able to buy more things like equipment and badges, but for right now it's just mushrooms, syrup, and refreshing herbs. But anyway, let's go ahead and, after I realize the bridge is broken, nicely done game. bridge.
The game is also encouraging progression.
Can't go anywhere at all. Everything's broken.
It's funny how if you walk all around the outskirts of this castle, they blocked off pretty much every path you could take that wasn't this way.
Like, there's these random spike things just sitting there to prevent you from going anywhere else other than the castle itself.
They're just trying to protect you from the enemies on the east side of the castle.
Good point. I mean, you could run all the way around. Actually, I think at some point you run into a fence, you get stopped. Unless you go north.
You can.
But you get
You can technically, I believe, go all the way around at the moment. But you can't really do anything else. You can open a few pipes, that's about it.